There are 3 stages during labor, and the first stage is the time while a mom is dilating to 10. The second stage is from the time a mother is 10 centimeters till the time the baby's born, so basically the pushing time. And the third stage is from delivery of baby to delivery of the placenta. Now, you had a specific question about the second stage, about pushing, and if laughing gas is helpful. And in order to answer your question, I want to talk a little bit about the background of pushing. There's a lot that goes into it. And if it's your first baby, you're likely to push for 1 to 2 hours, even though you might be able to see just a small amount of your baby's head when you start the process. It's similar to like a basket weave of elastics, and imagine that a bowling ball is sitting on top of that. And you can see that a lot of weight and pressure would have to be applied on those elastics until eventually they're able to stretch and the bowling ball can come through. That's exactly what's happening with the baby's head and the muscles on your pelvic floor. They have to be stretched in order for the baby to fit through the birth canal. So this constant pressure for 1 to 2 hours, because the baby's already descended quite a bit into the pelvis, in addition to the actual pushing, when you have a contraction, helps to add that pressure so again the baby can fit. The best way for the stretching to occur is for a mother to push 3 times with each contraction, using the force of the contraction and her pushing to stretch the tissues and get the baby out. So you push for 10 seconds during each push, and you do this 3 times with each contraction every 2 to 3 minutes for 1 to 2 hours. So you can see how this can be very, very exhausting. Now, if you're desiring an unmedicated delivery, during this time you have immense amounts of pressure, and that urge to push is huge. And so that's actually a little bit beneficial, because then when you feel that contraction and that urge to push, you're able to push in the right place and push more effectively than some women who have an epidural when they don't really feel where to push. Although there are also benefits to having an epidural when you push as well, because at the very end, when the doctor tells you to just do little slow puffy pushes, you're able to control it if you have an epidural. Whereas if you don't, you're not really able to control that, and the likelihood of you tearing is way greater. From all the labors I've observed, and from having babies myself, the pushing stage is very difficult, and it can be very painful, and it's exhausting. And laughing gas for this stage of labor is not typically used in practice right now. I have heard of some areas where it's being experimented upon, but the problem with laughing gas is that this goes into your bloodstream and it can affect your baby. And so the studies are being done to figure out what effect it's having on the baby, because when the baby's born, we want them to come out screaming so that we don't have to entice them to cry or to scream, because that's going to be best for them. We want them to come out and scream and get the circulation going through their body, and that's what's best for them. So typically speaking, we use 2 things as far as pain goes for labor. You can have IV pain medication, although that does affect your baby, so we try to hold off if we think you're going to deliver in the next hour or 2. And there's also epidurals. And the beauty of an epidural is that your baby doesn't know you have it. It doesn't affect them at all. So the safest form of pain control for your baby is actually an epidural. If you plan on not wanting to use any sort of anesthesia or pain medication during your labor, it's best to start preparing now. If you decide the day before you go into labor that you want to do it unmedicated, it's like deciding today that I'm going to run a marathon tomorrow. It's not likely to go well. So if you practice basic breathing and relaxation techniques, or look into things like hypnobirthing, Lamaze, or there's many different things out there you can study that help you with an unmedicated delivery. The bottom line is, though, you just have to be prepared. That preparation will also help you during the pushing stage. And of course, the staff at the hospital will be there to help you as well. Good luck with everything, and if you have any other questions for me in the future, feel free to ask them on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Intermountain Moms, and recommend us to your friends and family too.